And we are back on the pod. So welcome guys to episode 10 of Back on Bits. And yes, I'm still a little sick and medyo wala pa akong boses pero weird, medyo nagkakaroon, nawawala, namamalat pero as promised, habit forming episode 10 for this week. Recording this on a Saturday after our game with the women's. We lost to Adamson last game. It was no bearing, pero syempre wanted to win. And then Ateneo men's lost also. Last Thursday, GILAS won. So this is gonna be a quick pod. And magpag-usapan ko lang is mga current events or current happenings around me, around the basketball community, and random things. So, number one, let's go first with the Gilas game. Grabe yung game, guys. Grabe. Um, Question for you guys. Is this the best Gilas team formed in the recent years? Definitely the tallest with Kai. Junmar wala pa sa AJ Edu. Pero I think we never really had this kind of lineup where we have a 7 foot player who was dominating. 19 points, si Kai, 10 rebounds ba, and 7 assists. Not surprising assist, I've coached Kai in high school. Grabe mamasa si Kai. So there's no question about that. Pero one thing about Kai, which I saw in that game was, or like even in the past few games niya sa B-League was, I think his strength and conditioning, especially strength. He looks bigger. Nakita mo kipagbanggain sa loob with the Kiwis. Talagang grabe. Grabe. I hope he continues to grow, to mature, and hopefully yung NBA dream maabot natin na isang guys na like, he grew up here, pure Filipino, di ba? So sana. So grabe si Kai that game. And then also, of course, Justin Brownlee, the usual 20 plus points, very the usual kasi sanay na tayo. Everyone knew some of the clutch three. Um, Junmar Dwight, Scotty, grabe rin si Scotty. Laking bagay. And everyone really pitched in. I think this is the most organized Gilas team as well, the recent years. And ang ganda ng atmosphere sa arena. For those who don't know, I work with the federation. I helped stage that event. Um, Nag-set up, nag-ayos ng arena, ticketing. The federation usually takes care of it. Not as hard. Galing na kasi kami sa World Cup. World Cup was crazy. Siguro gawa akong episode about the World Cup. And feel ko kulang rin isang episode sa World Cup kasi different segments, different parts. Great experience. But anyway, yung Gilas game last Saturday is crazy. I think it was sold out, almost sold out. Baka GA lang yung hindi, pero ang daming tao. I think it was 16,960 plus, something like that. Almost 17K in MOA who attended the game. And then, ganda ng atmosphere. Siyempre panalo pero nakakatuwa na you see a basketball game na cheering for the home team. Grabe yung crowd. And I hope next game against Hong Kong, hindi ko wala pa eh. This is Saturday yung games tomorrow. Pero I feel like we're gonna win that big win. Medyo mahina yon. They're 0-3. Siyempre, hindi natin minamalit kalaban, pero I think we're gonna win. Win big against Hong Kong. Um, Coach Tim has again showed that he deserved to be the coach. And you really need someone, di ba? Kahit yung sistema niya triangle na sinasabi ng iba hindi gumagana, it works. Pero syempre there's a lot of tweaking as well. We saw Coach Tim also doing some Zoom action, different things, pero it really is the foundation, and like maybe 80-90% is triangle offense. And I think the players embraced it and put it into heart, and galing. I think the biggest part of this program right now is yung commitment ng players. Even the injured players come to yung pool, injured players who are in the pool, goes here sa window, trains with them, stays with them, kaya nakakatawa. Diba? You can see the commitment. AJ Edu, Malonzo was there, kahit di sila naglaro, they were there. So, kaya siya nakakatuwa. Um, Grabe rin New Zealand, no? Shooting. Grabe. I think they lost steam. And surprisingly, mas matangkad tayo sa New Zealand. Parang before, parang they were bigger, they were taller. Parang ngayon, medyo nagliliit yung hindi naman liit, pero hindi kagaya dati na parang mas matangkad sila parati. Ngayon, parang kita-kita may height difference. Lalo na when Junmar and Kai is playing together. Um, I know New Zealand, parang I heard they don't really practice a lot. Pero like they started practicing when they got here na in Manila, just 2 days I think before the tournament, 2 or 3 days. So ganun talaga. I think it's a problem of every federation because of this setup na window type. This is a new setup, not relatively new. Kasi dati parang one big tournament lang talaga yung FIBA Asia. So anyway, si Webster super good. Sorry, could say the import of Converse Bogdanovic ba? Parang gano'n. Grabe rin sila. I know they are missing a few starters talaga. But no excuses yan for sure, definitely. Tapos nagbago sila ng coach. They just changed 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I think first game to ng bago nilang coach ng New Zealand, and it malas niya na sa atin pa daw tapat where when we are picking. Um, anyway, we can do more Gilas content. Try natin mag-invite ng Gilas player to talk about the Gilson experience now with Coach Tim and the new Gilas team. Next is I want to talk about the UAAP. I touched on the women's last time. So the women's cast is complete. NU's going straight to the finals because they swept the eliminations. And then UST is waiting at second. And then Ateneo and Adamson is playing for a knockout game because it's going to be a step ladder who will eventually play UST. And then the winner of the UST and hopefully us moves to the finals against NU. So, ayun nangyari now. Just waiting for the final stats. I think it's gonna be Casey again winning the MVP. For the men's naman, it's LaSalle UP, USD, and then hindi pa alam kung sino yung fourth place. It's crazy about UE. I think UE had 6 games where they just have to they just have to win one in that 6 games and tuloy-tuloy yung talo. So they're on a slump. They have one more chance. I saw an interview kay Coach Jack. Sabi niya, it's 0-0 now, which is true. And it's crazy. Like, they had the 5-game, 4-game winning streak. Tapos ngayon, 6-game losing streak. So talagang hirap. Hindi mo alam. Hindi mo alam yung UAP. Grabe. Yung streak ng UE parang wild eh. Parang they were playing without pressure, winning games. Down 10 in the fourth, they win it, winning so buzzer beater against Adamson, I remember. And then now they're playing for their lives. Parang they were shoe-in, they were at one point, parang second when they beat LaSalle. They were solo third. Ngayon, playoffs na sila. So, grabe, grabe yung basketball. Um, as for Ateneo, ang hirap. Sorry. I know, um, I know, we're here. Um, Parang first time ko talaga. I don't know when was the last time Ateneo was in the last place. 4-10 right now. It's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. Pero kailangan talaga. Kailangan. Um, the only way to grow is to accept that you fail. That's it. That's what you in life. That there's something wrong. You have to accept that fact. Para you can grow. If you keep denying that something's wrong, and then you're gonna get stuck. I think that's one thing that I've learned in life and I've experienced and I witnessed sa ibang tao. There are people who do not um, accept the fact that they failed. That's why they cannot move on. They cannot grow kasi talagang ma-pride. Anyway, bakit ako nagmumuni-muni dito? Pero anyway, going back to Ateneo, it's a hard pill to swallow. 4-10, alaskado ka sa mga groups, yung mga tenista ngayon. From the top of the hill down to the bottom of the hill. Um, we were just winning championships like 3 years ago. 2 years ba? 3 years ago. And now we're here. This crazy, crazy dip talaga. No excuses though. May umalis, may ano, it's really a something na we could study and grow. I don't know what's gonna happen sa off-season natin Last off-season was a disaster, I think. And this off-season, I don't know. High hopes on Ateneo last year. Remember they started when they secured by who was supposedly or reportedly was going to UP and parang biglang nag-Ateneo. So um it started off well and then preseason came in. Halos walang panalo. I think they had like 12 straight losses kasama na yung mga ibang leagues. 12 or 14. And then not a good sign of things to come. Kala ko, to be honest, when they asked me, sabi ko kaya mag-Final Four na Ateneo. Which is, firmly believe pa rin until now na during the start, kaya no Ateneo mag-Final Four. Remember 3 games ago, Ateneo still had the chance to make it to the Final Four. Ganon ka-close. I said na kaya mag-Final Four natin before the season because I felt like the other teams lost a lot of key players as well, and most of the teams were doing a rebuild, were on rebuilding stage as well. Um, Teams like NU was supposed to do UE was supposed to have a rebuilding season. Lost Stevens, lost Rimogat, pero grabe pa rin yung record nila. Started off hot. And now they're playing for their lives. Pero imagine if Rimogat and Stevens is with mom away, they're playing for UE. Grabe, di ba? Grabe. And then, so yung UE, yung FU rin, lost key players, new coach, new system. So medyo mahirap. Um, Adamson, lost Jerome Lastimosa, lost key players, now fighting for their lives. FEU, Adamson, UE, sino ba hindi ko nasabi? NU. NU lost Baklaan, lost their foreign student in the first round. First game pa lang, 5 minutes. Was that 5 minutes? Kaya sabi ko, I feel like Ateneo really had a chance to make it to the Final Four. But we're here right now and we have to accept that fact. Um, di ko lang maano yung grabe yung turn of events from a contender to the last place. I don't know how if there are alumni listening. I don't know how you feel. I see some comments sa mga groups na Atenista. Sometimes it's funny kasi um, yung mga Atenista pag nanalo ka hindi natutuwa. Di ba? Parang babash. Kung hindi ka nananalo. Pag nananalo ka, binabash ka pa rin. Yung iba. Pero ngayon, medyo parang iba. Talagang medyo supportive naman sa team kahit dahil natatalo or kahit pala natatalo, which is good. Na may mga ganun pa rin, di ba? Na on the darkest days ng Ateneo nandun sila. Though I think um alumni and everyone should also open their eyes on what's happening. A lot of things going on. Some things the naked eye of a regular people wouldn't really see. And ang hirap because I think sa Ateneo is not the team that does not spend on their roster, diba? So I think that's why it's a hard pill to swallow. Yes, we yung sinasabi practice UP and LaSalle spend so much on their teams, which I believe they do, maybe more than Ateneo. And if they're 1 and 2, Ateneo might be number 3. UST might be there as well with the backing of SMC. And that's why sometimes it's frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for the bosses who supports us Ateneo as well. Though I'm sure they won't leave them, di ba? Parang you spend money and you end up last place, di ba? I think that's one of the things na frustrates them. But I think it's a cycle. Talagang kailangan ito pagdaanan to para to grow as I mentioned earlier. Sorry sa mga podcast listeners, umiinom lang ako ng tea. So, I don't know, share your comments about Ateneo. What moves should they do? I think Sean and Chris is going already. They're done. They're playing years. I feel bad for Chris Kuhn, injury plagued season, injured in the first game. Last year got injured as well. The year before that, I think may konting injury. So sayang, I think Chris would be a good pro player. I really feel like he has that opportunity to play pro, whether here in the Philippines or abroad. Pero I think Chris has the height and the skills to play pro or even in the PBA. Anyway, let's do another Ateneo episode na lang. Nakikarried away ako eh. It's been a while since this happened. So yeah, siguro yung last update ko is yung grabe nag-open ako ng TikTok today. And then nakita ko si Vice President Sara. Sabi ko, ano nangyayari sa atin? Parang bakit ganun, di ba? Pero I was texting friends, parang I was so busy this week eh with the setup of the games. So parang hindi ko alam nangyayari ngayon sa politics pero parang I saw clips pa lang pero grabe. Papakwento ko bukas sa ibang friends. Nakakatawa. And bakit ganito? Parang biglang madrama. So hindi ko pa alam yung gist ng kwento pero grabe yung mga clips. May pagbabanta, may pagdadrama, may pag-iyak. So hindi ko pa alam ano nangyayari. Sabi ko, grabe lang. Um, Also pala, na-mention ko, since the window is going to be done soon, there's also going to be an eFIBA World Finals. It's a 2K finals, or like a World Cup ng 2K, which we are hosting. We're staging the event again, SBP, the federation, the 2K or 2K or esports is under the SBP as well. So um, it's gonna happen in December in Clark, Pampanga, SMX. I'm gonna get the final dates. But if you're interested, you're a 2K player, please come and watch. Message me. And then I know I promised some people, or not promised, but I mentioned last pod that I will do a Q&A. I'm gonna push back a little. Medyo wala talaga tayong time. There are days this week na 3 hours of sleep kasi had to come from an event, which is yung GILAS game, and like fix up, do stuff, and then wake up at 5, before 5 to go to a 6 a.m. training. So yun, medyo sinisingil yung katawan. I hope by next week, medyo makapahinga konti. Pahinga means regular day of 6 to 9 a.m. then going to the office. Traffic na yun ng 2 hours, minsan 2 hours pa uwi. So crazy. But anyway, for the Q&A, try ko siya push back. I'm gonna try to get another guest. I want to talk about the GILAS, the FIBA World Cup, the staging of the event. Maraming topics pa. And medyo ano lang talaga this week, grabe lang yung schedule. Kasi grabe. Pero I just wanna promise myself gonna do at least one pod a week for habit forming. So that's it for today and peace out everyone.